So,
congratulations, that's unbelievable.
I think we still pale in comparison to you, though. You're 15 or 16.
Almost 15, yeah,
Almost
but still,
15.
though, that's, I mean, especially for a scripted show, it's a remarkably long time.
Yeah, it surprises me. Obviously, with today being the premiere and whatnot, there are a lot of texts and emails going back and forth. Congratulations and
yeah, sure.
Good luck, and it's still sort of.
Are you guys getting along still? I mean, it seems like usually after like the 4th season is when successful shows, the stars of the show turn on each other. Yeah.
We do get along. We get along really well. Jensen Ackles and I are the 2 brothers in the show. And we're both Texas boys. He was born and raised in Dallas, and I saw my Houston buddies over there.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
I was born and raised in San Antonio. We both actually live in Austin. We're both married to actresses.
The same woman?
Yes. We're on a commune.
Your wife was on the show, right?
She was. She was on the show season 4.
And then what happened? Explain what happened.
Well, it gets a little tricky, right? Because so I have a 5-year-old boy and a 3-year-old boy, and they call Jensen Uncle Jensen. I have a baby girl who doesn't yet make words necessarily, but I'm sure she'll call him Uncle Jensen.
She will call him Uncle Jensen,
and likewise, his daughter JJ calls me Uncle Jared, and so my wife was on the show season 4, and it was great. We met, we went out, fell in love, all that. But at the end of season 4, Daddy and Uncle Jensen killed my wife, so they don't watch the show yet. But that's going to be a very... It's gonna
How did Daddy and Uncle Jensen do it?
Well, I held her by the arms while he stabbed her with the knife that killed him.
Make sure they...
Honest to God, I'm sort of like, I don't know.
I mean, they must never see that. Not even in their 30s should they see
honestly, that. Honestly, it would still be a little frightening.
Of your kids, which one is most likely to look it up and watch
it? Shep.
Yeah,
my 3-year-old.
Shep.
Yeah, he's got, we call him Drunk Jared. He's not mean. He doesn't have a bean bone in his body. He's just kind of like, doesn't really realize that he
By the way, little Drunk Jared is going to be excited to see this. This is,
I haven't seen
you guys are on the cover of Entertainment Weekly. Well, not only that, you are alone on the cover of Entertainment Weekly. So, that's kind of cool, right?
That's really cool.
You hadn't seen it yet, huh?
I had seen pictures. I hadn't seen it in person.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
You want to touch it? It's very shiny.
It doesn't hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's pretty good.
Yeah. It's. I was even joking. Like my parents still have their Entertainment Weekly subscription. You know, like I just. It's not something I would have imagined in a million years. So for those of you guys out there...
Your parents are going to be psyched when it shows up at the house. Do they know that it's coming?
Oh, yeah. They know before I know.
They'll
be like, hey, we just found out you're doing a photo shoot for... I'm like, how did you... I don't even have the email yet. Telling me, so.
Are they very involved in your life?
They are. They're very, very excited. I think they TiVo everything, or DVR, whatever it's called.
You shoot the show up in Vancouver, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And do you get a lot of time off?
We basically film like a school year. We go in July, we have a week of Thanksgiving, a couple weeks of Christmas, New Year's, and kind of finish in April. And we pepper in 3-day weekends. But by and large, it's a lot.
Oh, that's great. That sounds like a good deal.
It is a good gig. In Vancouver, if we have any Canadians in the house?
Yes, there are. Sometimes they sneak in. We haven't built that wall yet.
It's a beautiful spot, and it's the most.
It is one of the great cities in North America. Yes,
it really is.
Yeah, I'm not joking. It is.
Yeah.
Why would that be a joke?
He said North America. Maybe they didn't hear North. They thought you were saying America.
Oh, I see. Okay, all right, I got it. Yeah, there's a miscommunication.
Hey.
Okay, so you're doing 13 seasons of this show. I heard. One of my producers told me that you won like a debate contest when you were in national debate contest in high school.
I did, yeah. So when I was in high school in San Antonio back in the late 90s, I did speech and debate, and my specific, what I did wasn't Lincoln Douglas debate or humorous interpretation or dramatic. It was called duo interpretation, and it was a really weird, strange. If this was a scene in a movie, you and I are sitting here talking, looking at each other. But if we were doing the duo interpretation version of this scene between us, we'd be looking straight forward, and I'd be saying like, "Hey, Jimmy, how are you?" And I'd grab something off your cheek, and you kind of hit my hand away. So you react. I had no idea.
Arguing with the other person?
Sure, we had some physical. In our scene, we had, he hits me and I react to it.
Oh, so it's scripted?
It's a script.
It's not debate with punching in it.
No, like the Russian chess boxing.
Yeah, it'd make it a lot more interesting.
It actually would. I'd watch that.
Oh, so this is a script. So really, you guys were acting? We
were acting, but we weren't. It was like acting to a green screen. And these days, because Supernatural has a lot of visual effects and special effects, I'll do a lot of my stuff, as you know, speaking to a camera, to a tape mark on the inside of a camera box.
Because you got monsters and all that stuff.
Which is really strange, but they haven't created the visual effect monster yet. So had I not kind of done that for years in school, there were two things, as a matter of fact.
You learned something in school.
I did that I get to use. And even kind of more strangely, I took Latin in school so I could do better on my SATs because it teaches you root words. And I was like, I heard somewhere that you take Latin, it raises your SAT score. Maybe I can get some scholarships or something to school. And all the while I took Latin in high school, and no offense to any, what would you say, Latinophiles? Any Latin fanatics out there? But I knew that I would never, ever use it in my life. And now, almost on an episodic basis, I'm saying some Latin incantation or exorcism.
Oh, really?
Like, I'm probably the only guy who
You're the only non-priest in America who actually put your Latin to use.
Regularly uses Latin. So.
Well, that's a great lesson for kids. That's a great lesson for 0.00004% of kids out there. Well, it's great to meet you. Again, congratulations on the show. Supernatural, Thursday nights on the CW. Jared Padalecki, everybody will be right back with Ismael Lupi.
Who's local to New Orleans? Welcome. This is my first time here, so I was able to walk around Bourbon and Decatur. I'm trying to learn. What? Admittedly, I'm not an accent guy, but I can't even attempt the Louisiana accent. Don't. I'm not going to. Watch me not do this. This is Jared. I'm super excited to go to Nolens. I'm like, do me a favor. Don't say that. In all fairness, he said, don't say that if you're next to me. That's true. Unless you just want to wear a t-shirt that says, I'm a tourist. I saw a shirt, and I meant to buy it. I meant to ask the guy where he got it, but I was sort of like walking this way with my headphones. He was walking the other way and just glanced. And it said, it was like, that's a terrible idea. What time? It's an awful idea. Where do I meet you? Or something. I like that. And it took me a second, I was like, and there was a big throng of people that were just doing Halloween stuff. My other favorite root words in the line says, trust me, you're hilarious. Whiskey. Well, there's also, quote, that's what she. That's what she said. That's a thinker. That's what she said. That one's a thinker. The powers to be. Oh, by the way, thank y'all for the Entertainment Weekly covers. Oh! That was a direct reflection of what you guys did. I guess it was last year when they. It was last month. It was like last week. No. When they put us on cover. Do you smell toast? When they put us on cover. He's dead. That was supposed to be on newsstands, but it wasn't. It was like a subscription only, or only in certain bookstores, and so I guess it was like the biggest selling one of those issues ever. And they were like, ooh. Maybe you should put them on another one. So, maybe you should give them 4 covers, even the short one. They were really good, so thank y'all very much. Very, very appreciate it. My parents legitimately have had Entertainment Weekly subscriptions since I was in high school, and they still do, so they're freaking out. They're like, that's great! Which one? Say again? Well, I think they probably got all of them, let's be honest. I'm sure one came. I hope that whoever sends them away, I don't know how subscription magazine world works anymore, but I hope that somebody sees like. You sign up and they send you a magazine. But somebody has changed in years. Somebody has to label it. Like one time, so I've lived in Jordan, he works in Minnesota, and for a while so he was working in the Target warehouse doing like dolly, what do you call it, a forklift work and this and that. And then he'd have to load boxes. And he calls me one day, he's like, hey, I just mailed something to your house. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, Genevieve apparently ordered something from Target, and I happened to glance and see Padalecki. My point being that I hope whoever was like putting the stamp on the Entertainment Weekly saw like, oh, Sharon and Gerald Padalecki. I'm gonna give them a Misha cover or something. That's what I would do. I'd be like,
of course it is. By the way, I killed that cat that I was holding. Yes. I was popped right out.
But it made for a great picture. It was a great picture.
Yeah. What can I say? I'm a posse magnet. I will say that Misha had the best line when the covers came out.
That was my line.
No. I'm not going to repeat yours. But I'm not going to tell it to you.
Jared, you doing Phantom Boy, which was fabulous, by the way. Excellent job. Would y'all want to do that voice acting in your future careers?
Nope. It's nerve-wracking.
Really?
And my voice changes daily. Like today I feel very like, hey, something like I'm Cheech and Chong or something. How's it going? So I don't know, he's got a pretty masterful control of his voice. I don't. I wake up sometimes and I'm like, I don't sound like me. And then I wake up other times and I'm real low. I'm like, I gotta change my voicemail. Like I'm out going, you reach Sharon or So
I'm just going to keep talking today.
I never shut up. So it's difficult for me to kind of, it's also really, and I think he's touched on this before, as an actor, I like feeding off of what somebody else is doing. So voice acting is almost like shadow boxing or playing tennis against a wall. Like you just have to have such mastery of what you're doing that you can do it for hours on end. I don't have that with vocal acting. I really enjoy, I remember I had an acting coach one time, or whatever, a high school teacher or something, who talked about some of the great actors and the great performers, like their faces never really move, their eyebrows, it's not like, how are you doing? Like it's not really, it's just
Watch Tom Cruise, who never blinks. It's freaking serious. I've ruined every Tom Cruise movie.
Wasn't that hard?
They were already ruined. Thanks. Touche.
That's a long-winded way of saying I really enjoy getting more out of a scene by seeing what the other person is doing.
I would say yes. I do enjoy it. It is a completely different, like Jared's saying, it's a completely different, it's a whole different situation than actually being on set, surrounding yourself with actors, feeding off of that energy of the crew and what the other character is giving you in that relationship and all this stuff. You're literally in a sound booth by yourself, reading a script. You read the line 3 different ways, and then you move on to the next line. So there's not an actual give and take or back and forth or there's not even, the other actors aren't even there. Like I didn't meet anybody in Batman and the Red Hood. I came in one day by myself. The director was in the sound booth, and she was basically like, okay, let's do line 137. And let's do a really excited version, let's do a toned down version, just give me 3 different variations. So it's weird, it's kind of, it doesn't feel like you're doing acting, it just feels like you're reciting things. But I just like it because I can just stand there with a cup of coffee and be in my underwear. So it's... And I don't have to wear makeup, which thank God.
That having been said, I would do a whole season of Scooby Natural. I missed the first part.
Did the brothers have middle names?
Did the brothers have nicknames?
Middle names.
Sam and Dean? I don't think so. Unless it's like Henry or something. Or like,
I think it's Dean Boom Boom Winchester. Yeah. As far as the household chores go, it is split up. When we're not there, she handles it. When we come home, she's like, here's the keys to everything. Your responsibility now. This is, if I could just paint a quick picture of when I come home after work or on the weekend, because we work in different cities, so when I come home on the weekends, this is basically what happens. I show up at the front door, she opens the front door, hands me everything, and walks out and gets in her car and drives away. That's not really what happens, but in my mind it feels like that sometimes. I think listen, when I come home, it is what do you need me to do? And that's, yeah, I'm basically her assistant at that point. Until I've gained enough brownie points, and then I can start, going, hey, I'm gonna sit down and watch the game, so. Oh, really, you are? I thought I would, I don't. So, you know what, that's a bad idea. What would you like to do? That's how that goes.
I think Jen, much like Jensen and his family, when we're gone, Jen does everything. And so she kind of has she has a similar but different reaction. When I get home and I want to help, but I don't really help the right way necessarily. Like all the laundry just goes to the machine. She's like, did you dry my bras again? I'm like, I don't know, was it the pile of bras? She's doing this. So I end up doing kind of I don't want to say the heavy lifting because she does all the hard work, but I like drag the garbage cans to the street, take the cars in for an oil change and do the easy stuff. I try and help, and she's like, baby, thank you, but you're ruining it.
I think I've heard Jim refer to it as having a fourth child come and visit every week.
Having another Shep, it's like drunk Jared, and now, like, that's Shep, and now it's Jared coming home and Shep and Daddy and Tom, like, yes, Matt. So I think she probably just prefers to have me stay out of the way. There. Mother Grace.
So yeah, there's that idea has always kind of floated around, but it's not something that would ever be seriously talked about until the show has been, retired.
We had a line last night, we were talking about it so late, where Ackles mentioned that as he's reading the page, he's talking to a character, and the character's line is at the bottom of the page, and his response is the next page, and he was hoping his line was something we can't say on television. And so...
Which would be the perfect Dean response to what was just said. And I was like, oh, I know it's not, but just... No, it's not.
I'm split because as a network television actor, I'm a fan of many shows and Netflix shows and Showtime shows and ABC, maybe I shouldn't say that. Anybody work for CW here? Anyways, I'm a fan, but I appreciate the technique and the artistry of having to avoid certain potty words, and I also like that we could share the message universally. I know there are probably a lot of
words.
I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. I have to say the potty words. But you know what I mean? I enjoy that there may be people in here that let their children watch it and see the message and the themes that we try to explore, like loyalty and sacrifice and dedication, that wouldn't do that if every other word was like a David Mamet kind of word, So I'm kind of split on if we did a movie, would I want it to be PG-13 or keep it kind of like a TV extended version of Superman.
R.
R. What's a pirate's favorite letter?
Sorry.
Do you guys miss your beards off season?
Yes.
Yeah. Figured as much. I think.
Yes, I do. And you know what else? So I think my baby misses it because she loved to play with it. But I had Shep. I had Shep. I did none of the work. So Shep was born in December, so we were on hiatus when he was 4 months old, and Tom and I both born in March, and so I was able to have 1 or 2 months, and they love playing with it. They love scratching it, pulling on it, and so you begin to bite their hands. So, I also miss, unfortunately, when we're allowed to grow beards, we also live in Texas, so you locals know how to do it. So So I spend my day like scratching, because it's very, very hot, very, very humid. And then we have to kind of like start pre-shaving it down before the show starts. Because if we go back to work and shave the first day of filming, we look like we have two different faces. But yeah, I like it a lot. It's going to be on some of the gag moments here. We've been begging and pleading to have like a full episode of gags. I swear to God, every day we're like, just how much, because we're not shooting on film, we're shooting on digital, so it's just megabytes that need to be transferred. So I feel
the camera operators and the focus pullers are so quick to press the record button that if we're doing something, if we're just setting up a shot and we start clowning around, they'll just immediately press record. And unbeknownst to us, we're acting like idiots and doing something that we probably shouldn't do or wouldn't do if we knew we were being recorded. And then once we're done being idiots, then we'll see our camera assistant come in with a slate and so a tail slate is something that happens at the tail of the scene, and it's a reverse marker, so it's upside down. And so they'll come in with a reverse marker, and it just says gag on it, and they'll go and snap it and be like, wait a second, what did you?
Apparently there's an entire, apparently it's in the works, but they're trying to put together an entire sort of gag scene of Alexander's initiation onto the show. Sort of his hazing.
Yes, he's got plenty of stories to tell you already.
Yes. And Misha's reaction when we all worked together was one of such utter relief and joy. Because he's like, wait, somebody else is going to get me that?
Misery loves company.
Well, if y'all could feel free to do that to each other for the rest of the day, that would be awesome.
Thank you.